8 minutes past 7 o'clock. We're ready to welcome the world back. That's right. These are the words of Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern after announcing plans to fast-track reopening the border for tourism. So from April the 12th, the borders will be open first to vaccinated Australians, which will quickly extend to fully vaccinated travellers from visa waiver countries from May 1st. But does New Zealand's fast-track plans present any opportunities for our Pacific Islands tourism? So to have this talanoa, we're privileged to be joined with Pacific tourism expert and consultant, and also former Tonga tourism CEO, Dr. Semisi Taumoepeau. With that, I say malole and welcome to the show this morning.
Malole, Agnes, and it's good to see you all this morning.
Absolutely. Look, it's our privilege to pretty much have you on the show this morning, Semisi. As the government has said and they've announced, they've got the reopening plan for tourism. Is it strong enough, though, to reignite and get the tourism industry going again?
Maybe it's not strong enough, but it's good enough. It's good enough to reignite things. Once you reignite it, it will start. It will continue to start. And there are various components of the industry we're talking about. We obviously know the backlog of travelers, VFR traffic wanting to come to New Zealand. They've been hanging out there. So it does reignite them. But the overall industry, there is still a bit more work to do. And I'm not talking here about hospitality. Hospitality industry are obviously waiting, and maybe for some of them it's long overdue. But I'm just looking at travel and tourism as a whole, and also the international beyond our border. And it is a good start. We're reigniting it. And yes, it will take us quite a while. I'm talking about New Zealand now, in the Pacific, to sort of get back to anywhere near our sort of pre-pandemic visitor arrival. And other countries, the tourism generators into New Zealand, they got their own issues as well. Yeah. And they got choice to do. They're looking at other destinations as well as some particular issues within their countries as well. And on a sort of bigger, wider international scale, we got some big issues happening out there. And long-haul travelers will be, they'll be watching what's going on. And thank goodness we're on the safe part of traveling with air services and also the airspace we use, airspace in the Pacific, airspace Southeast Asia and around the other side to Europe. It's all good for traveling. And, it's the economy that really dictates travelers going from one destination to another. Some countries, their economy is being maintaining, it's been good so far. And others will, really struggle during the pandemic level. So I'm still just talking about international tourism. And of course, the winners here are Australia and New Zealand. And the airlines, the national airlines in New Zealand and Qantas and Jetstar and other airlines. Obviously, they are mixing up the demand with the fleet that they do have available. But the short answer is yes, it's good. It's good news. Igniting it. Yeah.
Semisi, can I ask though, with New Zealand's fast-tracked tourism plans, does it actually though present any good opportunities for Pacific Islands tourism?
Yes, slightly. I was talking about international scenario, but in the Pacific, we're slightly different there. It's a different market altogether. And the good news is that Auckland Airport, which is the main hubway, which is the main gateway for most of the Southwest Pacific countries, it's open. It's opening up, and you can come in and go freely. And there's a bit of health and protocol there, but that is the good news for the Pacific Islands. The Pacific Islands themselves, they got a few things to tidy up as well, and of course Fiji and the Cook Islands, they're going there. They are they're hoping that a whole lot of people would come. But I'm looking at the other smaller places, and I'm also looking at say Samoa and Tonga. And there's still a bit more work to be done. And I don't really want to mention what has happened to Tonga at this conversation. We all know what happened to Tonga, so it will take a while for them to get into some sort of a normality in terms of tourism arrivals. The good thing about Tonga was that the Northern Islands, the tourism islands of Vava'u, where the world watching and everything else, seems to be okay for the time being, but the overall infrastructure need a lot of work. And most of the accommodation plan in the main island of Tonga, some of them are gone. Some of them, the real attraction for Tonga, they're not there. So it will take a while, take a few years.
I like that. If you're tuning in, we are catching up with Pacific tourism expert Dr. Semisi Taumoepeau. Finally, just want to ask though, what else can the government actually, I suppose, implement to ensure that tourism is booming here as well as in the Pacific Islands?
Yeah, see, this particular industry that they have sort of temporarily sort of suspended was the events industry of New Zealand, and for a couple of years now, a lot of major events being sort of suspended, being cancelled, and it's ongoing as well. Good thing about events that it's got the power, the tendency to bring in a whole lot of other visitors or other people who may not normally visit at this time of the year or during this time, during the pandemic. But having strong events, either they major international events or conferences, or sort of specialized, sort of niche market events. There are other things that need to be tidied up on the events industry in order to fully capture the benefit and actually events being hosted again, being coming back here. And of course, the sports, we all know about the sports and part of the events industry as well, maybe. But New Zealand is known for events and sports, and we see we're not quite there yet. I mean, we got some current issues now from sports and Super Rugby and whatever, but it will soon come right. It will soon come right. But immediately we're going to benefit from the VFR traffic between Australia and New Zealand. During pre-pandemic, we could easily bring in 10,000 arrivals from Australia, whether Kiwis or Australian, 10,000 a day. Will take us a while to get there, but it's a good start because the airlines themselves are trying to match it. They need to remain sustainable as well. So
sure.
They need to match it up with their flights.
Semisi, no, thank you for that. Semisi, I would like to know then what then is sort of maybe a key message that you'd like our listeners to know this morning. I mean, what can we be hopeful for, obviously, when the borders are opened?
I think just getting prepared for whatever it is, your role, directly or indirectly in the industry. And if you are an employee, if you were not working the past 2 years, and I'm pretty sure those organizations will take a lot of people back. And there's a bit of training as well required, recovery training. And if you're looking for opportunities in the tourism and hospitality industry, there will be plenty of opportunities there. We're talking about 250,000 people employed directly in the industry in New Zealand, 2 or 3 years ago. That number has gone down from there. But it will come back, and there are opportunities there for the younger, for the school leavers and the youth population of New Zealand, as well as the real industry experienced people.
Yeah.
And for the Pacific, yes, their problem is, well, they got small size there, small economies. The problem is just to get the infrastructure and to get the air transportation going. The distribution of air transportation, distribution of visitors around the Pacific Islands will depend heavily on the new pattern of air transportation that will be viable for the South Pacific. The airlines from Fiji and Samoa and the French territories that would help. But I think New Zealand and New Zealand will play a major role in sort of moving VFR workers and tourism to the islands as well.
Awesome. Look, thank you so much for your time this morning, Semisi. Really appreciate just you giving a little bit of insight into this. Malo pito hosi ikaw mai ke bogalama pongpongi ni. Thank you very much.
Malo abito whanongo, monofua.
No worries.